it's your girl Martha and Taylor, your favorite Gola girl. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, guys, we're going to be reacting to the weirdest things billionaires bought. In la bro, we say when you get plenty of money, your hand can be itching, you know, you want to buy everything, you want to spend the money. So yeah, these billionaires, they're out here buying some weird things. So today we're about to see and we're going to react to these things. But before we get into the video, I would like to say a big thank you to everybody that's been liking my videos, everybody that's been subscribing to my channel, commenting on my videos. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Continue liking, continue subscribing, and continue commenting. I really appreciate it. It tells me that now whatever I'm putting out there, you guys actually enjoy it. So thank you so much once again. So yeah, let's get into the video.
Like this $500 million full-size Titanic replica, this $55 million beer made in space, and this $1 million dwarf throwing contest. But first, let's talk about how Bill Gates spent $50K just to be a kid again. Because he really turned an entire room in his mansion into a trampoline park. I just can't imagine this old-ass billionaire jumping around like a child. But $50K is nothing to a billionaire. So things are about to get way more expensive. Like the time a billionaire spent over $100,000 on a banana? Believe it or not, this fruit duct taped to a wall is actually considered a piece of art. And after it sold for $120K, a dude straight up ripped it off the wall and ate it. But this next billionaire brought his dog back from the dead. Yeah, this dude loved his dead dog so much, he figured out how to get it cloned. But just one dog wasn't enough. So he cloned his dead dog twice for $200,000. Something about that just feels wrong. But not as wrong as a billionaire's purchase. That cost him his life. Hamish Harding wasn't like most billionaires. He's done things people couldn't even dream of doing. Like flying around the world in a record 46 hours, exploring the South Pole with his son, and taking a rocket to space. But Harding still had one more thing in his bucket list, seeing the Titanic. So once he heard the company OceanGate was taking people to see it, he immediately dropped $250K on a submarine ticket. But little did he know, it would be the biggest mistake of his life.
The submarine again, oh.
Was built by a dumbass. Not only was this thing piloted with a video game controller, it was made out of carbon fiber, one of the worst materials you can use on a sub. So when the
that
day came,
story that was going viral, this is
sent
it?
it into the ocean. And I think we all know what happened.
Yo, so there was a billionaire that did this?
Taking the lives of everyone on board, but for some unknown reason, the media ran with the idea that the crew was
I thought it was just some white people trying to be, you know, adventurous. I didn't know it was like a billionaire out here just...
billionaire obsessed with submarines.
Right, just being obsessed with shit.
His own submarine too, except Branson owns an entire airline company. So he got his airplane engineers to make an underwater plane for $662,000. Turns out Branson spent that much because he planned on doing a record dive to the Mariana Trench. But right before he could even try, James Cameron beat him to it. Now that's a big waste of money. But what this next billionaire buys is actually just messed up. Because Saudi Prince Al-Walid buys little people and holds contests to see who can throw them the furthest. It's literally like the Olympic weight throwing contest, but instead of weights, it's little people. He said he views them as jesters and pays a bunch of them a salary every year, totaling around $1 million. And he makes them do some weird stuff. Like one time, he couldn't decide which private jet to buy, the Airbus or the Boeing. So he had two little people each say one of the jets. And whichever jet sounded the funniest, he would buy. And if you're wondering, he ended up buying the Airbus. Another time, he threw a stack of $100 bills into a campfire and had a bunch of little people try to get him out. Now that's really weird, but Elon Musk spent $1 million on something a little different. Elon bought a car that can turn into a submarine. Look, I don't know what this billionaire fetish for submarines is, but it's the same car used in the James Bond movies. And I'm just as surprised as you that it actually works. But
what's the issue with white people and the underwater? Can we just all just be online, chilling?
Something for criminals. So you bought one of the only pics of this dude for $2.3 million. But that's still not as weird as a lady who spent millions of dollars just to look like a cat. Right after Justin Wildenstein divorced her husband, she received $2.5 billion. And they definitely should have signed a prenup, because she really used that money to turn herself into a cat. Yeah, she used to look good, but But after years
Yeah,
of
that's why it's
this
goals.
is her
Not the
name.
face,
She's literally nicknamed
but the
Catwoman
fact that she
after
got
spending
2 point
a total
something
of
billion out of
$4
her
million on
marriage.
plastic surgery. And she really turned
Goals,
into a crazy
baby,
cow.
goals.
Because by 77 years old, she was left with $0 in her bank account. How do you even lose that much money? But what if I told you that someone spent even more just to smell some ass? And not just any ass. Marilyn Monroe's ass. One of the most famous women ever. See, she wore this dress to President Kennedy's birthday party. But after she passed away, it came out that the dress was worn without any underwear. So this creepy-ass billionaire scooped it up for $4.8 million just so he could smell it. But this next billionaire wasted $8 million on a ticket he didn't even use. Because after Jeff Bezos auctioned off a ticket to space, billionaire Ken Griffin just had to win it. But after he paid the $8 million, dude got cold feet and gave it to someone else instead. Honestly, after OceanGate, I'm trusting some hunk of metal with enough explosives to send you into space. But that's not the only time a billionaire spent millions just to lose it all. Because when you own a private island, you might as well carve your name into it. Each of these letters is 2 miles long, so you can literally see them from space. But only a couple years later, the name washed away, losing them $22 million. And somehow, Bill Gates bought scribbles in a book worth more than that. Of course, it's not just any book. It's by the famous artist Leonardo da Vinci. And da Vinci was pretty weird. In this notebook, he wrote from right to left. And it's not like people during his time did that. Nah, he was the only one. And I guess that intrigued Bill, because he bought the notebook for $30 million, making it the most expensive book in history. But that's nothing compared to a beer that's literally helping kids beat cancer. Because billionaire Jared Isaacman was tired of beer that was brewed on Earth, so he needed something a little more out of this world. So he got the SpaceX flight for $55 million to brew a beer in space. He actually brewed about 3,000 gallons of it, and you could buy some right now for yourself in Boston. But since this was a viral stunt, they couldn't let the attention go to waste. So they used the views to raise funds for St. Jude, which helps kids beat cancer and other life-threatening illnesses. And after they raised over $150 million, Elon Musk donated $50 million on top of that, raising a total of over $200 million. Who knew that beer would make the world a better place? But this next billionaire has the weirdest and creepiest purchase yet.
Mr. Trump himself.
Stefan Dekov decided he wanted to buy the
I thought it was Donald Trump, sorry.
That alone is just a red flag. But it
I
gets
see him in
even
the
worse,
picture.
because he plans to turn the island's mansions into a hotel. I want people to sleep at night knowing what went down in there. These islands were originally selling for $125 million, but this guy must have gotten the friends and family discount, because he bought both the islands for $60 million. That's just sketchy, man. But Cecil Chow spent double that amount on something you'll never believe. Because after he found out his daughter was lesbian, he offered $65 million to any dude that could turn her straight. But after thousands
I know what men are looking for.
getting...
Imagine your son gay, right? Want you to go and marry him. Find me. We are... Find me. Just pay me the money. Yeah.
So we decided to double his offer to $120 million. But this next billionaire spent even more on a 100-year-old naked woman. Because in 2015, a painting of a nude woman was being auctioned off. And even though this billionaire knows nothing about art, he was so down bad, he was willing to overpay by $70 million for a total of $170 million. After he hung it up on his wall, do you think that would be the most expensive nut ever. But that's still not as weird as an entire cursed pyramid that this next billionaire bought. And why he decided to buy it is even crazier. It all began when the city of Memphis decided to build this giant creepy pyramid. And as soon as they started construction in 1989, things took a turn for the worst. Torrential floods destroyed parts of the pyramid, delaying construction. People were falling off of scaffolding, causing further delays. And there were even reported deaths. But they still continued to turn the pyramid into an event arena. And after they finished construction, they hosted a concert on opening night. Everything was going smoothly until halfway through the concert. All of the toilets exploded, flooding the entire pyramid with sewage. They continued to have events for years, but people eventually found out that there was some weird stuff at the top of the pyramid.
No one would go there anymore because of deaths and flooding and electrical problems and everything else you can imagine. And there was a skull up in the top, a crystal skull, a little demon monkey, little goblin charms hidden up in the capstone in a little metal box.
So the pyramid was abandoned and nicknamed the Tomb of Doom. The only thing remaining was the cursed crystal skull at the top. No one wanted to touch it for years, until billionaire Johnny Morris had the crazy idea of turning it into a giant Bass Pro Shop. He wanted to include things like a full lake on the inside you could fish out of, in a giant elevator that would take you to the top of the pyramid. but considering the place was cursed, he just couldn't decide if he should buy it. So he left the decision up to a fish? No, really. He went out fishing with his buddies on the river next to the pyramid and said, if I catch one of the biggest catfish of my life, I'll buy the pyramid today. But if I don't catch anything good, we won't buy it. And 10 minutes before they were about to leave,
He is a giant! Oh my gosh, look at this fish!
he caught one, and it was massive. So a literal fish ended up making the decision to buy this pyramid for $215 million. And today, the mega shop is alive and well. So
I mean, that's a good
this
investment.
catfish ended the curse. But this next billionaire
That's a good
literally bought the Titanic. No,
Yeah.
not the one at the bottom of the ocean. This dude wanted to make an
But I
exact
thought it said the whole thing was
called
a
the
myth.
Titanic 2. Not only is it going to look like the old Titanic, but the Titanic 2 is going to go in the same route where the original Titanic sank. With all that modern equipment, though, I don't think it'll sink, unless the name is cursed. But this dude's obsession with the Titanic set him back a staggering $567 million.
The money
Now, that might
seems
seem
to be
like a
calling us like
ridiculous
that's more
amount of
money, oh.
but that's not even close to the
560
weirdest thing a
million?
billionaire has ever paid for. Because I bet you didn't know, in 2019,
It's like, what am I
Bloomberg was
doing
running
wrong?
for president, which is crazy, because he spent more on advertising than all the Democratic candidates combined. His campaign only lasted 3 months, but somehow, in 3 months, this man spent over $1 billion on ads for his campaign. And still, no one knew he was running. It's the biggest waste of money ever, because after he spent $1 billion,
Even me, I don't know this guy.
so hard that he gave up.
I don't know
Let's
him.
talk about who we're running against.
I even know this woman in the purple. I know her.
Fat broads
I know
and
her.
horse-faced lesbians. And no, I'm not talking about Donald Trump. I'm talking about Mayor Bloomberg.
Our campaign today for the
I don't know this guy. But yeah, guys, that is the end of this video. Hope you guys enjoy it. These people have too much money. They don't know what to do with it. But no, all jokes aside, thank you guys so much again for liking the videos and commenting and subscribing to my channel. I really do appreciate it. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this one. And I will catch you in my next video. Bye.